we go. Hour 3 radio program. Nice to have you with us on this Friday afternoon. A good Friday, Easter weekend. Nice to have you with us as we chat. Eddie Erickson today. Eddie's done a great job all week. Colin Schmelling. As we take you for another hour here and get you set for your Easter weekend as far as the world of sports is concerned. 888 Mad Dog 6. That's your two-way sports talk telephone number. A little potpourri here to get us going in this hour. Just the update with the scores. Tigers got a 2-out, 2-run double after they took Pirates' clean hurdle Rivero out of the game. Their closer, who threw about 30 pitches, brought in Smoker, an ex-Met, a lefty, and Rivero hits a double. I don't even know who he is. Second base, Dixon Rivero, second, a double down the left field line, 2-run score. Machado, Dixon Machado, a double down the left field line, 2-run score, second baseman. And the Tigers have tied the Pirates at 10-10 now in opening day in Detroit. 1-0 Washington. Scherzer, of course, pitching against the Reds in Cincinnati, opening day there at Great American Ballpark. That is your baseball. We spent a lot of time on baseball the last, really all week. We've spent a lot of time on baseball. Aaron Hicks hurt, Yankee center fielder, oblique. We'll see him in 6 weeks. I thought they might put Stanton in the outfield tonight and move Gardner to center. They didn't do that. Maybe they want to keep Stanton off the turf, or off that, whatever you want to call it, in Toronto. I don't know. He's not going to play. I thought they might. Not the case. They brought up a kid from the minor leagues who will play tonight. Hicks and now Bird, both out of there injury-wise with the Yankees, but we'll see. As long as Stanton and Judge and Sanchez are there, I'm not sure if you need anything else. Their offense is those three sluggers in the middle of that lineup. So that's the one piece of baseball news you need to know. Ohtani will go Sunday, by the way, for the Angels. We'll keep an eye on that. And a lot of teams have days off today because of the games yesterday. We got all over Gabe Kapler today. I don't know what the heck he's doing with Aaron Nola. We got all over, to a certain degree, the Red Sox organization with not using a lefty and not providing Alex Cora with a lot of lefties at his disposal out of the bullpen, and he didn't use the one he had. And the Red Sox blew a 4-0 lead yesterday on the road in Tampa. We discussed that a little bit here today as we chat to you about what's happening as far as the world of baseball is concerned. But the big story and your big issue over the weekend is going to be the Final Four. 2 games tomorrow. Obviously, the first game shortly after 6, Michigan, and they didn't take them too long to set that Loyola Michigan game up as the first game of the doubleheader. The second game is always the game that gets more eyeballs to the sets. It's later on in the night. Second game is Villanova in Kansas, and there is your double dip. I would have loved to have seen Duke. I would have spent a lot of time on Villanova Duke this week if it was Duke. A lot of people think Kansas is going to play Villanova very, very well with their backcourt. I don't think so. I think Villanova... Now, listen, I'm not trying to say that Kansas won't be in the game. They'll be in the game. He's a good coach, and, they will definitely be in the game. I just don't think Kansas is going to win. I know the guards there are good. We saw Newman. We know about Graham. The big kid, fouled out last week, got some talent, too. The kid from the Ukraine makes threes. They got talent. I just don't think that Villanova's losing this game. Now, again, you can make an argument. They're a 5-point favorite. They did beat them 2 years ago in a real close game that could have gone either way. That was the year that Villanova won that championship for Jay on a Chris Jenkins shot there at the end against Carolina. And you can make an argument, a second go at it. Maybe it's Kansas's turn. Close game. Sometimes you're 50-50. One year one team wins, the next year the other team wins. And you can make that argument, but I just think that Villanova has just too much offense. Every guy in that team can score. Everybody in that team can shoot a 3. Even a big kid, Spellman, can make a shot, and he make a 3 in a big spot. Pasquale can play. Obviously Bridges is going to be very, very good. They got kids in the backcourt. Brunson's the college player of the year. Him and Graham will be an interesting matchup tomorrow. I just don't think Kansas is going to beat him. I think there's just a little too much offense by that Villanova team. They got a lot of ways they can score. They got a lot of offensive players on that team. Everybody on the court who's in there can put the ball in the basket. They can all shoot threes. They did not shoot threes very well at all at times in the regionals. They didn't shoot great threes against Texas Tech by any stretch. They didn't play well in that game, yet they still figured out a way. Villanova plays good enough defense where they can win a game in the 60s or they can win a game in the 90s. I mean, they're a very, very resourceful, interchangeable team, and any way that you want to play, they'll play. If you want to go up and down, they can do that. You want to go play down low and bang, they got Pasquale, and Spellman's a big kid, they can do that too. They don't have any issues of playing any style that you want. Kansas wants to score. They're going to score in the 80s to have a chance to win this game, and I think that's almost playing into Villanova's hand. I just like Villanova's offense a little too much. I think Villanova will beat Kansas in the second game tomorrow. I want to root for Loyola. I will root for Loyola, and in a funny kind of way, I've said it all week, I think in a weird way, I think Loyola's got a better chance to beat Villanova than Michigan does. Michigan... Villanova likes to be the team. Their fans like it. The main line likes it. Jay Wright likes it. They like to give you the idea that they are, some upstart team, little kids in Philadelphia who, going up against the big guys. Everybody bailed out on them with the Big East. They're not a Power 5 conference, no football. They like to give you this poor boy attitude where, we're happy to be here. We'll take our chances. We'll see what we can do. We'll try to figure something out. I mean, they love that, and I think they prefer that angle instead of the other angle where they're the big heavyweight team. Listen, that's just my take on a Villanova fan. I do sense that a little bit with Jay. But they're not going to have that if they play Loyola on Monday night. Now, I think Michigan's going to beat Loyola, but I think Loyola, with the way they play and the fact they have the whole world for them and a lot of karma and, the sister Jean and all that nonsense, I know it's gotten way too much publicity. I think that Loyola would be a great matchup there on Monday night. Villanova-Michigan's a basketball game that Villanova's not going to lose. If Villanova beats Kansas, they're going to beat Michigan. I'm telling you right now. I'll be surprised if they don't. But Loyola would be a very intriguing game. Loyola, we all know about Loyola. They're a much better team than we think. The two kids in the backcourt can shoot threes. They can go to the basket. They have an outside game. They got a lot of ability. They have a lot of guards. They had the kid make the shot against Miami. Then they had a kid make the shot against Tennessee. And then they had the kid make a shot against Kansas State. All three different kids. Well, not Kansas State, Kentucky, Nevada, and all three different kids. So they are very good at that. They have a lot of ways they can hurt you. There's something different. I think Loyola is dangerous, but I don't think they can get by Michigan. If they do, I think they might win the whole thing. I think that would be a hell of a final. I get into that. Villanova, Loyola, something different. A small little Loyola being the giant killer against Villanova. Villanova likes to be in the other way. We beat Carolina, we beat Georgetown, we beat Ewing. And that way, they would be the hunted and not the huntee. And that would be very interesting if Loyola got a crack at Nova on Monday. Now, I don't think they will. I think Michigan will win the game. I don't think Michigan's going to win the tournament. I think Michigan will win the game. The one thing about Michigan, you got to remember, they got to a very easy bracket. That region was bad. Xavier was not deserving of a 1 seed. I know they had no choice but to give them one. It wasn't anybody else. But Xavier was a horrendous 1 seed. North Carolina wasn't as good as normal. I mean, that was not a... that just really wasn't, Gonzaga wasn't phenomenal either. Florida State is Florida State. I mean, Michigan, to me, had a very, very easy regional to get through. So from that perspective, I'm not sure how good they are. They should have lost to Houston in the second round. They were very lucky. Kid missed 2 free throws. If he didn't miss the 2 free throws with 3.5 seconds to go, they would have lost that game by 4. They were down 2. He missed the 1-and-1, and then it came down and made the 3 with 3.5 seconds. I think Michigan's been fortunate, but I do think they're going to beat Loyola tomorrow. So I think it's going to be a Michigan-Villanova final. I think the best game you can have is Villanova-Loyola. I don't think you're going to have that, though. I think it's going to be Michigan. I would give Kansas probably a little. I think Michigan's going to win. I'm pretty confident. I think Kansas, they're going to be good in the game, and they're due to beat Villanova 2 years ago. But I think Villanova will eke out, 86, 82. That kind of score. I would give Kansas a better chance to win than I would Loyola. But I think Nova and Michigan will be there at the end of the day, and they'll play that Monday night game. Now, listen, the games are on TBS. It's a CBS production, but it's a TBS game. I think they're going to be hurt rating wise. They're going to tell you all about streaming, and they're going to spin the numbers any way they want to spin it. But I think they're going to be hurt. 30%. McManus told us last week when the games are on TBS in the Final Four compared to the games on CBS. I think they're going to be Remember the game 2 years ago, the classic Carolina and Villanova was a TBS game, and it was like the lowest rated final game they've had in a long time. Why? Because it was on TBS. There's baseball now going on. It is Easter weekend. I'm into the baseball this weekend. I'll be into all the matchups. The Yankees, I'm curious there. I am certainly curious with the Met pitching. I'm curious with the Giants in LA. I'll be into the baseball. It's a good weekend for baseball. I like April baseball. It's something different. You never know. Teams get hot. I think they're going to be hurt a little bit there in the local market. I mean, nobody, for instance, on Monday in New York is going to be caring about the championship game in college basketball. Now when the Yankees are playing at home opener, and the Mets are also playing in New York. Not a chance. They're going to have no interest whatsoever. None. I don't care what the game is. It's not a New York team involved. I mean, Boston, they're not going to care either. So you got to keep that in mind. They're going to be hurt with the big markets. And now college basketball has other television options here in the next couple days. And that's going to hurt them. Plus, it's a holiday weekend. So I wonder what they will do here as far as the rating is concerned. They'll do a lot worse, and we'll see. Now, I'm into both games, but I'm going to tell you, if one of those games gets out of hand, I'm going off it pretty quick. I'm going to go off it pretty quick. And a Monday night, I'll be into that game too. It's a championship game. You get into it, and we're all going to be there for a shining moment at 1 a.m. I'll get off that game here pretty quick too. And I don't love the final. I think Michigan and Loyola is okay. I think the Villanova-Kansas game is decent. I would have preferred to see Duke. I think it's a decent Final Four. I don't think it's great. And I think Villanova is by far the big favorite. Lots to still do. We'll take a timeout. We continue a quarter after the hour. 10-10 top 10. Pirates and the Tigers. We come back on Mad Dog Unleashed right after.